Welcome, everybody. It is great to be back. Thanks to Luke and to Pat, who filled in for me while I was gone, and just so much to talk about, starting with an incredibly consequential appeals court ruling. And that's where we will start today. Just moments ago, an appeals court has ruled that Donald Trump is not immune in his 2020 election interference case. So much riding on this claim from the failed former president that the facts and the elements do not matter. All that matters is that as the former president, he was immune at the time no matter what he did. This is the immunity argument. I have absolute and total immunity, or whatever he liked to say. And a court has said no. NBC News reporting, a federal appeals court on Tuesday rejected Donald Trump's broad claim, and it was broad, that he is immune from prosecution for alleged criminal acts he committed as president in trying to overturn the 2020 election in a chain of events that led to the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Trump will almost certainly immediately appeal to the Supreme Court in a bid to prevent the trial from going ahead as scheduled in March. The Supreme Court could make a quick decision on whether to hear the case and could fast track any ruling. The three-judge panel of the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for D.C. ruled there was no basis for Trump to assert that former presidents have blanket immunity from prosecution for any acts committed as president. Remember, this is only one of 4 criminal prosecutions Trump faces, as he remains the ever more presumptive frontrunner for the Republican primary nomination. A key issue is whether the trial can take place ahead of the election. Special counsel Jack Smith has asked for the court to move quickly to keep this all on schedule. And also, it's more than just on schedule. It's voters to some degree want to know what the outcomes will be of some of these cases, because polling shows us that their opinion about how they will vote to a great degree depends not just on the trials happening, but on the outcomes. And what I mean by that is that 80% of the country isn't sure they would vote for Trump if he were to be convicted. Or to put it a different way, only 20% of the country is sure they would vote for a convicted Donald Trump. So not only, it's important not to overstate or understate the importance of any issue in this political space. It's hard to overstate the significance of these trials, because not only does the 2024 election rely on them, but Trump's political life based on his age also relies on these trials. And is it fair to say that Trump's life overall depends on these trials, in the sense that any convictions are potentially going to put Trump in prison for what would likely be the rest of his life, based on his age and based on his health? So Trump fighting for his political life and his life as a free man. And it is now going to, we knew this was a probability. It's now likely going to come down to the Supreme Court. You are going to hear all sorts of speculation about what the Supreme Court would likely do. Some of the opinions about what the Supreme Court might do rest on a Supreme Court where 3 justices were picked by Trump is not going to take an action that is going to put Trump closer to a prison cell. Therefore, the Supreme Court is likely to rule Trump had immunity. I am not at all convinced that that is what we are going to see, because we have simply not yet seen that the Supreme Court is definitively and brazenly willing to protect Trump to that degree. However, I also don't believe that this is a Supreme Court that's going to throw Trump under the bus. Now, the question is, what does that look like when it comes to immunity? I don't know yet. And based on this ruling, we now are going to see all sorts of legal opinions come in over the next 24 hours. We'll probably talk more about that tomorrow. But at least for now, short of the expected appeal to the Supreme Court, very bad news for a Trump who was appealing to the idea that it doesn't matter what I did. It doesn't matter what you have evidence of. It doesn't matter what crimes you allege I committed. It doesn't matter because I was immune. An appeals court now saying, no, sir, you weren't. I've had such trouble finding a great razor where I am not cutting myself or getting those nicks on my skin, which are so common with the cheap disposable razors. You have to meet our sponsor, Henson Shaving. Henson actually manufactures parts for the International Space Station and the Mars rover, and they are bringing that exact same precision engineering to the shaving experience. It hurts when you shave because blades extend too far and thus they wobble slightly. But with their aerospace grade CNC machines, Henson is able to make metal razors that extend just 0.0013 inches. That's less than the thickness of a human hair, which means a secure, stable blade with a vibration-free shave. It also has built-in channels to evacuate the hair and the cream. No more clogs, no more rubbing your thumb on the razor to get the hair out. I use Henson at home. Shaving is a great experience now. Henson wants to be the best razor, not the best razor business, which means you only need to buy it once and it's awesome. Go to hensonshaving.com/Pacman, add a razor and a 100-pack of blades to your cart, then enter the code Pacman to get the 100 blades for free. That is a 3-year supply. The link is down below.